Guys, tonight I'm going to tell you about how this turtle book back here was folded up like a taco. That was fun. I bought a whole bunch of dollar books. I'm spending money on a signed book that I didn't collect, so definitely stay tuned to see what in the world this thing is, because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to buy that. And a whole bunch more books. It's probably going to break 100 books today, so stay tuned. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Tuesday night live stream. This time it actually is Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Big thanks to those of you who joined me yesterday on my giant size X-Men #1 grade reveal unboxing World of Fun, where apparently I sent in a signed comic and didn't even know about it. So if you guys want to see that grade reveal, the link should be somewhere down there in the description below. So check that out if you haven't had a chance to do so. Of course, after this video, if you're watching it live, of course. And then as well, I did have something else coming up I'd like to plug, and I believe it is Friday, June the 4th. I have been invited to an auction on Skeff's Comic Knowledge, so definitely check out, once again, link down below. Sub up his channel, set those notifications on, so once he gets the link ready to go, you can find it on his channel. So big thanks to Skeff and Cockman Andy for that invite. So probably expect sometime early next week, or maybe even on Thursday next week, a preview video for what I'll be featuring on that auction. So it's been a minute since I've had a chance to sell stuff, and that's literally tons of stuff over here I need to sell. So yeah, I'm just going to cherry pick the best of the best and go from there. And I'll probably end up sorting stuff out from back here again after I try to figure out how to get this stuff in my boxes. So yeah, enough chitter chatter. Let me say hi to the chat here. We got Bad News Chris Barrett. What's going on, man? He's still hoping for a 9.8 giant size X-Men #1. No, I didn't hit the lottery that good. So as usual on these Tuesday night live streams, I usually tell you guys what I've been reading. But this time it's probably like, what have I been playing? So I bought the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on PS5, and that's kind of taken up most of my spare time. So I've pretty much just put aside working out for a minute, because yeah, that's what people do, I guess. I really need to get back on that. But anyway, I've played Mass Effect Legendary Edition to the point where I've already beat the first Mass Effect. I started Mass Effect 2 last night, so check out twitch.tv/Seawater19 so you can see me get randomly killed in Mass Effect 2. Check out Mars Comics. What is going on, man? Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I've been trying. Trying to get ready for summer because it's already getting warm here in Indiana. But shout out to Mars Comics. How's it going? But yeah, most of my spare time has been deferred out of reading, unfortunately, and into games, fortunately, I guess. So I did get 4 current books this week. One I still need to sit down and read because I was trying to bag and board and I ran out of time. But that's Ed Pixler's Red Room. Absolutely love the Cartoonist Kayfabe comic channel. Highly recommend that if you guys haven't checked it out. But Red Room is like Ed Pixler's biggest project for a minute. They actually had a lot of copies of this at the comic shop, and a lot of people seem to be excited about Red Room. So that's awesome. I can't wait to dig more into that. So I'm going to set that aside. And then the 3 books I did get read right before this feed. I've been looking forward to Fantastic Four Life Story for a minute. I pretty much said as soon as I finished reading Spider-Man Life Story, they need to do the same treatment to Fantastic Four, and someone must have heard me somewhere because Marvel has done that. Now, I will say this for so far the start, in my opinion, not as great as Chip Zdarsky's writing in the Spider-Man Life Story. This one's by Mark Russell. It has just a breakneck pace for the origin of the Fantastic Four. I was kind of surprised they didn't start Reed off a little bit younger. He already has the gray temples, which, I'm guessing they're going for stuff that, if the story took place in the 60s, they're going to make it in the 60s issue. So I get it. That's why I was a little surprised Franklin was already born, but that's when the story took place. So I get it. So by the time they get to like the 2010s, even Franklin's going to be really old by that point. But they, like I said, I was very surprised about how fast the pace is once the Fantastic Four, the first Americans in space. Then he has this vision of Galactus, so they know something is coming after them from space. Meanwhile, they get their powers. Ben Grimm obviously isn't happy about that. He blames Reed Richards like he normally does. And yeah, there's a lot of other things that happen in it. Like I said, there's a ton that they cram in to one issue to the point where it's almost a little bit of a detriment to the overall read. But I'm still going to hang on the life story for at least, I'll give it 3 issues total to see if I like this or not. So far, not bad, but not Spider-Man life story good. I think that was very good. I ended up getting Wonder Girl. I wanted to check out the first issue. I did overall enjoy the Future State Wonder Woman books with Yara Flor. I think Yara Flor has got a lot of room for potential in terms of these newer DC characters in Future State. She's probably the top of the ladder in terms of characters to watch for Future State, which it's a small rung ladder, obviously. So, but once again, this book kind of suffers from the other 2 Future State books. Phenomenal art, gorgeous book. I just recommend this book for the art alone. The story, it's pretty basic. I hate to say it. It's just she rides a bus. She's going to Brazil. People like her because she's an Amazon, and she ends up getting swallowed by like a sea god at the end that's not Poseidon. That's about it in the whole comic. So it was a very, very quick read. But yeah, phenomenal art by Joelle Jones. At the very least, check it out for the art. Can't recommend Joelle Jones's art enough. So very beautiful book. And in the last one, got an audible reaction from me when I read this thing. This book continues to be, just say, batshit crazy. So that's Ice Cream Man, issue 24. So in this issue, they basically have like this telethon for this guy who's just middle-aged, basically. That's it. They're trying to raise funds for this guy because he's aging poorly. Like it starts off with him at the dentist getting a tooth removed, and actually the panel goes inside the guy's mouth, and you see his tooth get ripped out of his mouth. So that was a pretty unsettling visual, obviously. And then they keep cutting back and forth intermittently between this guy's life getting worse and Ice Cream Man trying to like talk about this guy in a telethon and raise funds, and it just stays at $0 the entire comic. He has these ladies just sitting there waiting for the phone to ring, and he just cuts to the big board. It says $0. So it's, once again, imagine like Freddy's Nightmares, where Freddy's just being an asshole in the background, and then you have the overlaying story of this guy's life just getting worse. Like you get to see him, like his teeth get worse. He gets a divorce. He gets like a restraining order against him. He gets some sort of disease, and then he just dies. Before he dies, there was one panel in the telethon it cuts to, completely random in this book, where Ice Cream Man just completely breaks, wrestling term of the day, kayfabe. He completely just shatters kayfabe. He holds up this comic, this cover, and he just goes, all right, I'm just going to cut the brass tacks here. Like, you can stop reading now and this dude will live. And there's also this dog here, and if you keep reading, the dog may not live, and like they're holding a pistol to the dog. I'm like, Jesus, why? Why do we need this? So he's like, you want to keep reading? I'm daring you to keep reading. So you keep reading, and of course the guy dies. That's, and then like they take the banner down of like raising funds for this guy's life, and they just put up funeral funds. And then it turns out the lady's like, one's holding up the phone cord, like the phones weren't plugged in, and the guy's like, that's all, folks. And then it cuts to the very end where it has like a, in memoriam picture of the guy we've been tracking the whole issue. And then you flip it one more page. Usually it's like an ad or a letter column. It's the dog. It's an in memoriam for the dog. It's like, this one's on you, folks. And then that's the last page of this comic. So once again, Ice Cream Man gets a reaction out of me. This book is insane. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's probably my favorite title besides Ninja Turtles right now. Every issue is just crazy in its own way. You don't even need to read the last issue. I can't recommend Ice Cream Man enough. I don't know if they've done a hardcover or anything yet, but I'm probably definitely going to plan on getting that at some point. All right, let's hop back into the chat. I saw there he is, Knights of Old. He says, "Congrats on the TMNT one. I have a third print as well, and it satisfies me." Yeah, I'll get into that next. There's a fun story on that one. Chris Bear saw what ducks flying. Just remember, when the wind blows hard and the sky turns black, ducks fly together. Quack, quack. We got JoJo from Flicks and Comics. How you doing, JoJo? And then Chris Barrett says, that cover reminds me of the old After Mags. Yeah, absolutely. The After Mags. Good old wrestling. I wish I had some of those. I actually went to a flea market in Kentucky once, and I found a few comics, of course, because Louisville has some great comics, and someone there beat me to like getting a whole stack this big of just like the After Mags and like the Louisville wrestling scene magazines and that stuff. And like they had like Ric Flair on the cover and stuff. They looked really cool. But speaking of really cool, we're going to talk about this bad boy. So I kind of teased this bad boy the last live stream a couple weeks back that I got a really good deal on a book. So basically I said it last stream, I'll just reiterate it. So basically I paid like $300 for this, which if you guys track what I pay for comics, that was very difficult for me to do even for this book. I don't like paying triple digits for any comic book whatsoever. Like I like to get my stuff cheap and in $quarter bins. I like the stealth buys. I like to dig for the stuff, but sometimes books kind of just sit in the back and taunt you. So like about 4 or 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy this book for $300 grade. It was a maybe 7.5 grade, which if I had to guess, if you guys watched my video yesterday, I'm not the greatest at guessing grades, but if I had to guess, this would probably be around the one I saw like 4 or 5 years ago. So since I didn't buy that at a con like 4 or 5 years ago, this thing has like doubled in price basically to the point where higher graded copies are getting toward 4 figures, and no way am I paying that. No way. So I really at least wanted one of these covers, just that original Turtles classic cover, and obviously the closest I can ever see this is the third print. So enough about me actually like finding a great deal on this on eBay finally. So I red flag. The only red flag was really it was a newer eBay seller, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the big gamble finally on this book. I need it in my collection. I've gotten the 5th print this year. I've gotten the 4th print. So it's like I've been counting down getting at least to this 3rd print. So finally the 3rd print came into my view cheap enough for me to want to just go ahead and get it. So I did. And I'm like, you know what? They say they're priority shipping the thing, which is always great. One would think that's great. So I see it's coming in a priority legal mailer. That's what I would send it in. That's great. Day comes, it's supposed to show up in the mail. It still hadn't shipped yet. Luckily, like I got home just in time. I saw like it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. Usually the USPS would have delivered this by now. So I'm like, where is this book? Why isn't it on my doorstep? So I'm just refreshing, the tracking, and finally it says package has been delivered. So I go to my front door, nothing's there, nothing. So I'm like, please don't tell me of all packages they have lost this package. So I refresh, I go to details, and guess what it says? It says left in mailbox. So okay, maybe they did the gimmick where there's this really big mailbox, which there is down the very end of the curb, and they put a key in your mailbox, and at least that way maybe it's slightly bent a little bit. So fair warning, this is not the picture of the comic. This is just kind of to reiterate what the USPS did to my Tales of TMNT #1, which I bought maybe a week before this. So this is the Tales of TMNT #1. I talked about this last time on the Tuesday night live stream. So this is a sampling of what they can do to a legal flat rate mailer. And, I could completely say like, USPS, I don't like that, but it's kind of on the seller as well, because they put no cardboard. Basically, if you can bend these things, like a taco basically, and put it in a mailbox, they're going to put it in the mailbox because it's not written fragile or anything on there. It's literally an envelope. So I can't really blame the Postal Service, even though I'm not too thrilled with them either, that they would try to cram something like this inside a mailbox. So they did the same with this book, but luckily I caught it like the second I hit refresh is when I even saw the dude drive away, and boy, did I give him a dirty look. I could walk to the mailbox. It's at the end of the curb. I'm at the opposite end. So I got in my car to go get the mail, basically, if that makes sense to some people. And I mean, I'm just speeding over the speed bumps. I don't even know if I wore a seatbelt, to be honest, but I needed to get this out of the mailbox before there was any permanent damage. And like I said, at least if you fold the comic like a taco, at least it's going to maybe have a crease down this way if it stays for long enough. But like I said, I caught it like as soon as the guy dropped it off and drove away. He didn't bend it spine this way, thank goodness. So as far as I can tell, there was no damage, but why would you send a $300 book with no cardboard? I don't even know if I still kept the bag and board. I might have had to treat it like hazardous waste because it was so cloudy and just this has never been bagged and boarded. It's been bagged, had the same bag since probably 86, 85. And yeah, that's how they sent it. They literally just priority mailer, seal shut, cram it in the mail. So the fact, like, it could use a press. It does have 4 color breaking spine ticks on the top in that solid black part. But other than that, I'm still really happy with this book. I've seen much worse copies of this sell for a lot more. So I'm debating if I'm going to send it to CGC sooner than later because I have to put together another magazine order, and I've sent most of my favorite magazines at this point, if that makes sense. So for now, I think I'm just going to enjoy – sorry, Silverhawk's flashlight. I think I'm just going to enjoy my raw copy right there. And yeah, very happy to have that book in the collection finally. So thank you, JoJo. I know you like turtles as well. Nice looking whip. Okay, Chris. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some pickups here because this I keep accumulating this stuff. Like there's one stack today. This is why I don't read much. Like I'm too busy actually bagging and boarding to the point where I didn't even finish bagging and boarding. So we're gonna start with half-price books. We're gonna work our way up from there. So yeah, as usual, they keep filling these 20-cent bins. So I keep buying 20-cent comics, which I guess any of us watching probably would. So I'm going to rapid fire these bad boys because you've seen most of them before, and I still got to get them in a bag and board, and I don't want to handle them for too long. Got Savage Dragon number 3. It's a newsstand, so I guess for those of you working out there, headphone warning, 3, 2, 1. Newsstand! So any of the early newsstand images I usually pick up. This one's kind of special. Because it does have that J. Scott Campbell fan art in the back, which is one of the first times J. Scott Campbell had published art. I think it's like this, and then a copy of Nintendo Power with the Ninja Turtles on it. I'm still on the lookout for that. So J. Scott Campbell fans, this one is definitely worth getting if you're looking for like a bunch of J. Scott Campbell for sure. They also had the Savage Dragon, say the Megaton Man in a newsstand as well. Like I said, 20 cents. Usually I wouldn't buy this stuff even for $1. But 20 cents, I threw it in the pile. So getting into these tangent comics, it's just a very weird time in the world of DC. So I don't see these hardly at all. So I figured I'd try them out for 20 cents. There's the version of Power Girl. We got Adventures of Superman. I just like Jurgens, Ordway, and Perez and Templeton all on the same book. So I'm like, yep, I'm picking that up. It's got a lot of phenomenal artists on it. Also got the Tangent Comics Nightwing, the Tangent Comics Sea Devils, which I completely forgot existed. Found a random copy of Thor God of Thunder, even though it's a little bit not good on the bottom there, as you can see by the light. It was still 20 cents, though, but usually these Jason Aaron God of Thunders are in pretty good demand. I found yet another copy, which technically, this may be an upgrade copy already for me. It's for never being bagged and boarded. It's in really nice condition. Action Comics number 645, first appearance of Maxima. George Perez on that cover. Absolutely love this comic. Can't believe I was looking for this for years, and I found 20-cent copies 2 weeks in a row going to half-price books. So absolutely love this book. Read the one I went with last time, and then I found another copy. So very happy with that. Don't know if this book's anything or not. 7 Soldiers of Victory. I just like Grant Morrison, J.H. Williams, but this is like a random second printing, which I didn't even know they did a second printing on this. So figured this one is kind of a ghost. I've just never seen this book before. We got Superman Action Comics, another awesome George Perez, issue 647 on that. Brainiac Trilogy Part 1. I think I'm going to try to collect at least the Brainiac Trilogy there. At least get a lot of these like late 80s action comics because there's just like a lot of decent story and a lot of just phenomenal artists on Superman at the time post-Crisis. So absolutely love that. Just like Adventures of Superman 443 right after Crisis, Jerry Ordway on that one. And then just because why not? Every time I see this book, I end up buying it. So another 20 center. Sorry, I just wanted to look at Mike Turner did the inside and out. Superman 202. Gotta get the Mike Turner art when you can for cheap. Then on my trip today, actually, this is a $2 book. I know I'm breaking the bank for half-price books. I found a Headmasters #1 for $2 on a newsstand on that one. So anytime I can get those early, late copper Transformers. Here's this crazy issue of Champions, where I believe this is the school shooting issue. So flipped through this one earlier. Pretty crazy. I didn't realize this issue happened. So pretty crazy. Probably give this away at some point. I keep picking this book up and giving it away because I do love me some All-Star Superman. But this is the All-Star Superman Special Edition. They keep reprinting this thing. This was the 2013 reprint. But yeah, I think every comic collector I think should read All-Star Superman. Absolutely love that book. Got a Cerberus, the Vark Knight returns. Anytime I see a swipe of this cover, I got to get it. Got the Shield Infinity Variant Edition. No idea what this was, but it looked cool for 20 cents. And then I think somehow I think my brother just absorbed my copy of this book into his collection. So I went ahead and bought a new copy for 20 cents. All-Mac Project #1. Great Legends got me wanting to read Infinite Crisis again. So I ended up picking up a #1 copy of that. Final 20 center for the day. Walking Dead Free Comic Book Day Edition. Couldn't remember if I had this or not. 20 cents. Pick up a new one. And then here's kind of a cool one. This was $2, so I think this was a no-brainer for $2. Marvel 2-in-1, issue 51. Really awesome George Perez, Joe Sinnott cover on there. But you get Frank Miller on the interiors as well. So really awesome comic right there, in my opinion. All right. So before I keep going, let's say hi to that Comics and Movies. What's going on, man? Yeah, I got, obviously, the Grail call for me. This is one of the Grails today. TMNT, third print. You know a few things about this book. Finally got my first copy of it. Even though, like I said, it was folded up like a taco by the USPS, it still came out safe. Maybe the positive feedback for the seller didn't come out safe, but at least the book mostly did. Chris Barrett says, yeah, but probably the least tasteful Society conscious issue Marvel has done. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why they would touch upon that, but yeah, weird issue, say the least. And then I do have Signature Grail coming up. So I might save that thing. I'm going to save that one for last. We're going to go ahead and get into the antique shop hauls. And after that, I'm going to show you guys some crazy 20 centers. And actually, you know what? First, I completely forgot. I had another eBay haul. So I think I got these for about $40. I don't know why I was the one person bidding on this, but hey, I always take another copy of this book all day, every day. Well, besides this book here. So there's a 4-book lot for $40, so $10 a book if you divide by math. But obviously, I consider these three like, $13 a piece, and this one $1. Of course, when you talk $1 comics, you gotta have an X-Men #1. Everyone needs 20 copies of this in their collection. What makes this extra special is in one of those awesome 90s-ified Wizard Comics bags. So I had a lot of Wizard 1/2s come in these bags. I'm very happy with just this bag and board alone. I know that seems really stupid to 99% of the people watching, but hey, X-Men #1, that'll be a giveaway to somebody at some point. But the other 3 books are pretty awesome. I got this, I'm going to designate this a reader copy, but this, if I do October reads again, I'm probably going to add this in. The Monster Frankenstein #1. Got to get this in a better bag, obviously, but I'm guessing that cover is pretty well separated on the bottom half. It's kind of jacked up there, but pretty cool Plug cover there. I'm sure he did the interior art as well. So once I dig into this, I'm really looking forward to that. I love the Bronze Age DC and Marvel. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite eras of comic books. Is just that, let's ease up on the code and get horror back into comics. So absolutely love the art and the storytelling there. Actually, it's pretty hilarious because I do have a $1 copy of this coming up, even though it's a reader. Actually, I may have had 2 copies of this, but Daredevil 151 is just kind of the throw-in. Dave Cockrum art on Daredevil, though. beautiful copy of that, which is good because I have a reader copy coming up of this, spoilers. And then the main reason I bought this lot, this one was a no-brainer. G.I. Joe #1. Why would I not buy a copy of this for $40? The rest of the books, in my opinion, were free as long as I got this. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. I think the one I have downstairs on my wall is a direct edition. I wanted this one because it was the newsstand edition, so I have one of each. But I don't know. I might go ahead and just strike while the iron's hot on this book and see if someone else wants it at some point in an auction or a claim sale. So did end up getting this for really cheap, so always happy with that. Just definitely needs to, I'm going to rebag and board it, obviously, and see what the conditions really like. But, yeah, going into my antique shop stuff. So made my antique shop run, so I got the $2 stuff and then the 3 to 5. So we'll start with the 3 to 5. So bought one of these for $5. Amazing Spider-Man 700. Think this is technically the second print, but I really enjoy this book. Happy to get a second printing of that finally. I have a Humberto Ramos signed first print on the wall, so now I have the second print to match that as well. Found this, and actually when the antique shop lady was taking the stickers off, as antique shop people will do, she actually had to stop and look at this one. She couldn't believe like how old this comic was, I guess. And that's Wonder Woman 172. Just a nice Silver Age Wonder Woman for $5. Really nice condition too for the age of this thing. It's probably from late 60s, obviously, but even the woman was just like, wow, this is really old. I'm like, yeah, it is an antique shop, but anytime I can get some 12-cent, DC for the most part, I'm going to strike about every time for $5 or less, especially if it's in that condition. Then I think this one was like $3. Nice looking copy, Giant Size Avengers #3. Really nice square bound on that. No splitting that I can tell. Just maybe a tiny bit on the bottom, but presents really nice for the quality I've seen these square bound 50 centers in. So decided to throw that in the pile just so I had something to leave with today. Believe it or not, I did not own this particular version of this book. I got a Spider-Man #1 McFarlane, but I didn't have like that greenish background. I have the black and platinum, obviously that's like the one you're going to see all the time. I had the gold, and then now I have the green. None of them are newsstands, unfortunately, but at least I have this color now. But $3 for that. Wouldn't mind paying $1 because I used to see it like constantly. I was like, yeah, screw it. Why not throw it in? I never have seen it. People seem to be buying anything 90s Todd McFarlane nowadays. Clean copy of Thor 350. It's great looking Beta Ray Bill cover on that. Always getting these anniversary covers if I see nice copies. So Hulk 325. Once again, really nice copy of that. And then the last $3 one, Marvel Adventure featuring Daredevil. Not the world's greatest spine, but still is a pretty nice copy in my opinion. So featuring Daredevil. So anytime I see Bronze Age Daredevil, I probably just pick it up at this point, or especially Silver. But yeah, Daredevil, Moon Knight, Hulk. Well, yeah, I did kind of cash out on Hulk, but I have a few characters I'm still collecting through Marvel. Let's see what we got going on in the chat here. We got the Mastodon. He's back today. He says, sorry I'm late, what I missed. I just talked about how the USPS folded up my Turtle comic like a taco, even though it was the expensive one this time. I've gotten lucky twice with them, not damaging my stuff somehow. And, yeah, we still got a lot to go here. A lot to go. So, yeah, we're going to keep trucking along here in a second. Chris Barrett loves some Silver Age Wonder Woman. He says, come on, you have to keep the gimmick book since it's your gimmick. So, yeah, I get rid of the direct typically on that, but I think the direct is still the much cleaner copy that I'm thinking of. What I may actually do if I don't sell, I may send the direct to CGC or CBCS and keep this copy of G.I. Joe #1. This may be my reader copy. So, yeah, I hope it's not detached or anything. This is technically my third G.I. Joe #1. The first one I bought was in like a 10 for 10 lot, so I got it for $1 anyway, but it looked like someone had run over it with a car. When I opened it, both the centerfold and the 3 center pages all just fell out, and I had to put them back in. So, and I think I ended up just either giving that away or selling it for like $1 or $2 and writing like really awful condition on it. And then Chris Barrett says, that's a really high-grade giant size Avengers. Yeah, like I said, I was very happy with that. $2 ones. So let's get into some $2 books here. Here's one I've never seen before. So for you Bruce Timm fans here, I got a Black Panther issue number 2. This is either like a B cover, 1 in 10. I'm not sure. But it is a Bruce Timm Black Panther variant. I did not know this existed. So I was very happy to see this and pick it up. So we got that. Just threw an Action Comics in, $5.94. My boy, actually with Chris Barrett, our boy Booster Gold is somehow shooting water through Superman's chin. I'm not sure how that works. So not the world's greatest cover there, but hey, it's my boy Booster taking out Superman for some reason, which will probably never happen again. So I had to buy that. Late run G.I. Joe. Always get the stuff over issue 100. Really like the direct edition version of that with the American flag on there. Clean copy of 101. Arthur Sodan variant. Actually, that's the reason. Hey, let me cue it up one more time. Let's get the gimmick going for Chris Barrett. Newsstand. So I found the Arthur Sodam Black Panther 29. As you can see there, it is a newsstand variant, which these later run newsstands you don't see too much. I got a Mike Turner Battle of the Planets number 1. So I keep finding Battle of the Planets number 1 variants I didn't even know existed. So I think I got like the Alex Ross one's the one I bought when I was a kid. Then I bought the J. Scott Campbell, and now I have the Mike Turner one. So this is probably my favorite one. Like with each one, I kind of like them better. I gotta say, I think the Mike Turner might be the best one. I got a newsstand as well in issue 27. Speaking of Michael Turner, so he did a run of covers on Black Panther. I really like that. Probably one of my minor finds of this trip, Gotham Adventures issue number 3. If you guys like the John Michael Christopher action figure variant covers, I would say this is probably the basis for that whole gimmick. So obviously this way predates those gimmick action figure covers. So thought that was really awesome. Threw that in the pile the second I saw it. Some more late run G.I. Joe. I got this whole Destro Search and Destroy arc. So I got issue 116. They're all newsstands as well. Issue 117 and then issue 118. So those will definitely all be staying in the collection. What's up? We got Wolf Blitz in the chat. What is going on, Wolf Blitz? Just so you know, man, I was talking about how I'll be part of an auction a week from Friday over on the link below's channel there. So definitely check that out. Here's another one I didn't know existed. I think this is technically the last pre-crisis Batman appearance. So that's Detective Comics 567. Wow, Skeff's comic knowledge. Why couldn't I think of his name there for a second? Sorry, my brain's been off all day. So I'm definitely going to put this in my read pile. Harlan Ellison written Detective Comics. And it's the final pre-crisis Batman appearance. So definitely setting this one to the side to read today. Just thought that was really awesome to find for $2. Got an unexpected issue 161. So once again, anytime I can find DC Bronze Age horror, especially in the giant size. This one's not as cool as that other giant size. It does have the spine splitting, as you can see right there, and is desperate for a new bag and board. And then the last $2 find, X-Men versus Avengers number 1. So this one I'll probably be putting away for a while, right? So once again, another newsstand copy on that. Now I just need the other 3. I think I actually saw issue 3 today. I should have picked it up. All right, let me take a sip of water for the working man, as Austin would say. And then we're going to get into some of my dollar finds. So my local shop has brought back their version of Old Comic Book Day, which takes place on Mondays. They closed for Mondays for a while, but with COVID restrictions easing up, they decided to bring it back finally. So the shop owner has absorbed this giant collection of late 60s, 70s, early 80s loved comic books. These are loved. So some of these are reader copies or 1.0s. Some of them have detached centerfolds, detached covers. But for $1 a piece, they're still awesome to have in a collection as readers and run filler and that stuff. So I ended up buying 75 comics in 2 trips so far. And I was just shocked the amount of product he still had on his shelves from yesterday. So I didn't get a chance to go yesterday. But I kind of messaged, he still said he had a lot of product not sold. He had a huge turnout the first Monday. So I went to his Instagram page. There's a lot I missed out on. Like there was a Micronauts #1. There was a Barry Windsor Smith early bronze X-Men there that sold for $1. I'm like, oh man, to be able to get that for $1 would have been amazing. But there was a lot of stuff that went, and I consider myself lucky as well. I actually got one today. I didn't even realize I got until I was bagging and boarding. Like, I got this? Like, I didn't even remember, but it's probably the best find, but we'll get to it as we go. But he also had a couple sets. Besides the Bronze Age stuff, he usually pieces together a few sets of items. So about 2 sets. We're going to save the second set for last because it's one of the, in my opinion, probably everyone's not going to agree, but in my opinion, it's my best find besides this bad boy for a while, in my opinion. But the other find I had, he had this for $4. So I got 3 comics for $4, but also came with these bad boys. He had Champions issues 1 through 3 for $4. A lot of people are already speculating on this book right here, obviously. And it doesn't hurt to have the other 2, plus the little cardboard cutout stand-up gimmicks that they gave away at cons and the local shops. So I got the 2 sets of those to get all the characters, plus all that for $4. That was a no-brainer right there. But I think this book is already selling for like 10, 15, $20 for whatever reason. So I'm like, well, I'll pick the whole set up for $4. That's a no-brainer there. So I got that. And then let's just get into what I got on trip 1. So I picked up 50 comics on trip 1, 25 comics today on my second trip. And like they say, low grade is better than no grade, even though there's some good stuff in here. There's like, I prefaced with very low grade. There's a lot of cool stuff in my opinion. So we'll start with Spider-Woman. I know I just cashed out on Spider-Woman previously, but he said, like, if you don't get intervals of 10, they're $2. I'm like, I'll pad my stack with some Spider-Woman. That's no problem. So I got issue number 4, and there's going to be some doubles because there were so many people there. Like, as soon as people saw, he put it on Instagram, and that went on blast. Like, all of his regulars came flooding in, like one at a time. Every 30 seconds, someone would come through the door once he made his Instagram post. So it was literally like, oh, I kind of like Spider-Woman. Grab that. Oh, Amazing Spider-Man for $1. Boom, you grab the whole stack and you just put it in there and sort it out later for $1. So issue 5, this one does have some spine splitting on the bottom. And I won't go into too many condition details now because I'm not selling the books. I'm just showing them. But I did get 2 issues of 6. Like I said, I accidentally grabbed. They're probably in 2 different stacks, and I just wasn't keeping track because it was, like I said, it was pretty frantic just to try to get this first run. I'll talk about trip 2 here in a second, but like I said, lots of Spider-Woman there. Beautiful copies, issue 20. Unfortunately, this one does have a staple detached, but still presents beautifully in the Mylar, of course. Issue 21. And then I was surprised no one was grabbing this stack. I got some amazing Spider-Mans for $1. So these aren't the greatest, like I said, nice readers. But hey, I'm putting together the full run at this point as much as I can. I'm never going to have those like sub 100 ones, obviously. Those are just too insane for filler issues. But this one, I'm working on getting that spine roll out. It does look much better than when I picked it up. I got 2 copies of issue 165. So there's that. So I thought that was pretty fun. I got an issue 166 as well. Pretty nice copy of that, in my opinion. I think the diamond ones are technically Whitman variants for the most part. So I got a couple Whitman variants. So actually, I did grab 2 copies of 169 here. So you can kind of see the difference between the normal Marvel edition and the Whitman Diamond Marvel edition there. So I got a couple copies of that. I got issue number 173 as well. And these are slightly out of order because I did do several waves of bagging and boarding on these just to get as much as possible done. Found a Silver Age Daredevil 45. Of course, the one Silver Age Daredevil I found I already own. So I already have an upgrade copy of this, but I wasn't going to leave this there for $1. Are you kidding me? So, I don't know how I actually got my hand on this one before like other people are just grabbing things as fast as they could. Like I said, this had a Daredevil 151. I just happened to find this last week too. So now I have 2 copies of Daredevil 151 for whatever reason. So there is that. I got Daredevil 152. Once again, $1. And I know Mastodon, I know you love this one. I actually, am now continuing my run of Doctor Strange from the Bronze Age. So I didn't have a ton. Pretty much had the Frank Bruner run, just kind of cut off around issue 10, 11, 12. But when I saw these for $1, I wasn't going to leave these there for $1. So I got issues 26, 27. Frank Bruner cover on 28. Anytime Bruner does Strange, I'm buying it. That's a no-brainer. I can never find a good quality copy of this, so I end up picking this up. Still not the greatest quality copy. Issue 29. I think this is my second copy. My other copy's not that great either, but the cover is detached on this one, so I got a nice reader, to say the very least. And then issue number 32. So just a whole rich run of Doctor Strange. If you don't get Bruner, you get some Starlin thrown in there, and they're all beautiful. So let's see what the chat's saying before we keep going. Chris Barrett says, well, Pumpkinhead low grade is better than no grade? Okay. Mastodon says she's a Spider-Woman. Dude, she was good to me. $1 Spider-Man books. It didn't snatch up to say, well, I know. That's why I'm like, how is this still here? And my second trip, Barrett, wait till you see the book I grabbed on the second trip. You won't believe it. It's not, I'm not saying it's a high dollar book, but it's a book me and you have actually talked about before. It's something we read on Modern, and just stay tuned for a second and you'll see. $1 Silver Age photo cover. Yeah. Don't know why that was still there. Mastodon says, yeah, I don't even collect Spidey. I would snag those for $1. Yeah, absolutely. There's more Spider-Man, by the way. These, like I said, these are out of order, and I still can't believe this one was in there. Spider-Man 107. A 20-cent Spider-Man, close to 100 level, like for $1? Yeah, that's going in. Got an issue 126. Kangaroo bounces back. Apparently, this is the first time Harry Osborn became the Green Goblin. So, cool issue there. Actually, kind of snuck this under the radar. I think another guy there was getting ready to like grab this like 2 seconds before I did, because he wanted the full run. It's like, I just want the first issue, dude. You can go for the rest. The rest were still there today, so I know he didn't pick it up because he didn't get this one. Battlestar Galactica, issue number 1. So I love me some Battlestar Galactica. I kind of always wanted the Marvel issue on this, so thought that was cool to be able to grab. Got a Captain Action number 3, 12-cent DC. Also, awesome Gil Kane cover on that bad boy. More Daredevil. Got an issue 124. Like I said, it's a reader, but it's still awesome. Issue 128. Stairway to Slaughter. Issue 139. So I'm definitely going to start going. I need to start chronicling what Daredevils I'm missing and seriously going after that run. We're going back to Doctor Strange, though, Donnie. We got issue 19. Like I said, that was not all of it. I grabbed the entire Doctor Strange pile. I grabbed it all. We got issue 23. We got issue number 24 as well. So I got a good chunk of the 20s done there. Really awesome cover on this one. I think this has a little bit of staining, but besides the back, this still presents really well. It has like a cool, like, I guess you could use the word Matina, I guess. Flash issue 193 with Captain Cold on the cover. Are you kidding me? 15 center for $1. I was so happy with this purchase. Here's a random one. The Inferior 5, issue number 2. So DC's take on the Fantastic Four, I guess, and lampooning them, if you will. Here's a cover. I just buy it every time I see it. And actually, I think this is technically an upgrade for me. Invincible Iron Man 150, just that Doom versus Iron Man cover. Maybe, besides the alcoholism cover, maybe the best cover that, Ramita Jr. or Bob Layton's ever touched. I absolutely love this cover. And like I said, besides some stuff on the bottom, it presents a heck of a lot better than the one I've had previously. This one was a pretty easy grab for me, even though, once again, reader, still happy to have it in a collection. Miss Marvel 16, first appearance or the cameo appearance of Mystique. So, fortunately, I didn't see an 18 there, but they did have a nice reader for 16. And as you can tell, it does have some battle damage on there, but still very happy with that. Another copy of New Mutants issue number 1. This time, I think I have the Spidey head on the other one, so now I have the newsstand variant on that, if you want to call it a variant. Nightcrawler number 1, classic Dave Cockrum. Going back to some Spidey madness, issue number 217. We got the annual for issue number 13 of Amazing Spider-Man. Early black suit appearance, spectacular 90. Once again, this was actually in the front row. I don't know why no one grabbed this one, but I took advantage. We got some Thors, issue 216. Does need some, definitely need to clean. Got some water damage issues, but luckily no standing. Same thing with 217. So I think a good presser could really make something. Well, maybe not on this one. 283. This one's actually a much nicer copy, which I'm kind of excited, I guess, because hey, it's the Celestials appearance, so people love the Celestials right now. Thor 297. I kind of just grabbed the Thor pile too, I'll be honest. Thor 227. Thor 244. Thor 246. And last but certainly not least for this trip, and Chris Barrett, I know will like this one, Bronze Age Wonder Woman 203. So once again, I don't know why. I almost put this back. Like, why would I put anything back for $1? So apparently this is like one of the more valuable ones I guess I would have grabbed in the first stack. It's like a $20 book, I guess, and it's in decent condition. So I'm not going to sell that one, though. I like to try to collect the early DC stuff, like I said. So that was trip 1. So trip 2 I just got today, so I haven't bagged and boarded everything yet. I'm going to save the 2 bagged and boarded for last because I think they're super cool. So once again, shout out to the Great Legend. He talks about this book every time we mention John Byrne, and that's Fantastic Four 252. I'll hold it like this for the Great Legend, the letterbox edition. I don't think it has the tattoos inside, but it does have the phenomenal letterbox art of John Byrne right there. So this is kind of becoming a book. Every time I see it, I buy it. We got Aggressively Relaxing in the chat. What is going on, man? How'd you know it's my area code, says Barrett. The 252. We got, I need to get this one to bag and board ASAP because it is in actually surprisingly good condition considering some of the Marvel stuff. And that's Superman 241. It's just around the 12th cent era. I think, what was the year on this bad boy? I think so. Yeah, 1971. So early bronze, 25-cent copy. So it's a giant size, but like I said, it's not bad at all for a giant size from 71. So I need to get that in the bag and board ASAP. We got some Joe Kubert Flash action here. 1969. We got a 15-center Flash 190. So another awesome one there. I was kind of like the second trip stuff better, to be honest. I was kind of surprised. Like I said, I went the day after he had these out. So these sat out for an entire day without being sold. I don't know why people wouldn't buy these. Nice copy, extra copy of Crisis 2. Newsstand doesn't matter too much on those. It was 50-50 split, but hey, I'll take it. Issue number 10 of Crisis. That's the one where you get Harbinger at the bottom kind of doing her separate story with the monitor tapes. Classic issue there. And then you have the Realm of Magic getting ready to try their hand at fighting the Anti-Monitor and summoning the Spectre. Here's a cool one. If you like Frank Bruner, definitely look for this one. Howard the Duck number 2. So Frank Bruner did some of the early Howard the Ducks. I have a Howard number 1. I did not have a Howard the Duck number 2. So more Frank Bruner goodness in there. This one has a tiny hole under the letter E for some reason. But other than that, surprised this one was there. Return of the Jedi number 1. So I think I had this once. It was looked like someone stepped on my copy. So I think I just gave it away or something like that. So decided to pick up this copy for $1. More Doctor Strange action. I think it was, who did this one this time? Yeah, Roy Thomas was the editor. Garner Fox, Jim Starlin. It was the creative team. So Marvel Premiere number 8. I decided to go ahead. I think I already have this one. I figured I would see if this is better or worse than the one I already have. I'm guessing the one I already have is slightly better, but I definitely didn't pay $1 for that one. Like this one. So like I said, Doctor Strange, I picked them all up. Not a Bronze Age book, but I guess late Copper. Marvel Age 91. Thanos Quest preview. So really awesome Ron Lim 1990 Thanos art right there. And you got to love the calendar on the back as well. So I'm slowly getting into collecting these Marvel Ages. More Daredevil, issue 100. So not too bad of a copy on this one. Like I said, I'm just getting to the point anytime I see Daredevil, Bronze Age, I just buy it because I love it. So there's that. All right, Chris Barrett, I know you're still watching in the chat here. So this book right here, I know you would have just jumped over someone to probably buy because you love this run. What was Spider-Man 32? Craven's Last Hunt Part 4. Why was a Craven's Last Hunt issue sitting on his shelf for an entire 24-hour period without being sold for $1? I have no idea, but absolutely love Craven's Last Hunt. There's your newsstand gimmick right there. I think I was missing this. I'm at least trying to put together all 6 issues of Craven's Last Hunt. Not too bad of quality on this one either, so except for that rip in the back and multiple pages I just noticed. But hey, I want to read this again and again. Absolutely love Craven's Last Hunt. No-brainer once again. Godzilla is king of monsters, so where else are you going to find the Avengers fighting Godzilla? You got Thor, you got Iron Man, and the rest of the crew, and then you got freaking Godzilla there. So this is a fun $1 bill right there. We got some Silver Age Captain Marvel number 6. Like, why was this there? So, yeah, I need to get that in the bagging board and put it down before I bend it more. I think I may still have a copy of this, but obviously this book was on my brain, so I needed the swipe cover of it. Marvel Age 33, you might recognize that cover right there. The X Factor swipe of Giant Size number 1. So, really clean copy of that. This is like the 4th time I bought this one for $1. So if anyone's looking for First Lady Deathstrike, I guess let me know. This one I would probably give for free or for $1 to anyone who bought something from me somewhere down the line. But Alpha Flight 33. And then I decided just to, wrap it up with a whole bunch of Secret Wars. So everybody seems to have that Secret Wars 8, or what happens, you'll see an eBay seller buy like 1 through 12, take 8 out, maybe take 1 out, and then sell the rest. I don't like paying that much for the rest, so I ended up getting these for $1. So I got Secret Wars number 3. Let's see. I think this is an upgrade for me. Secret Wars number 4. They actually had a copy of this one, which people, they couldn't have their 8, so they find a way to make 7 valuable. So I got Secret Wars 7, introducing the other Spider-Woman. For some reason, stupid me bought Secret Wars 11 twice today. Don't ask me why. Couldn't tell you. They may have been stuck together. I'm not sure. And then a nice clean copy of issue number 12 as well. So didn't have that one. And then just because why not? Secret Wars 2 number 1. Who is the Beyonder? So the last 2 books I picked up for $1 today, and then we're going to get into the final lot. So we're almost done. So thank you guys for sticking with me this far. So this was the first one. It's, like I said, it's pretty much a reader, but if I do October reads again, this will be guaranteed on there. If I remember, I said that this time. So yeah, Supernatural Thrillers featuring It number 1, Steranko cover. What a beautiful book. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this one, except for the fact that it had some gnarly hair. Literally, I had to pull hair out of this. So I still need a vacuum where I bagged and boarded this book. But I'm still happy to have it. This is a cool book. Like I said, anytime I can get a Bronze Age horror, DC or Marvel number 1 especially, I get really excited about it. So I got that. And then maybe of all these books I showed for $1, maybe the ultimate find. You guys can let me know if I had something different and I didn't realize it. Marvel Spotlight number 6. Second appearance of Ghost Rider for $1. And there's nothing detached in here either. And I got this today. So this thing could have been sitting there for 8 days straight without selling. But this was probably my best find in terms of just rarity and value, I suppose. But yeah, second appearance of Ghost Rider for $1. That's probably one of the better finds I'm going to have quite a while. So yeah, very happy to get this. That was a really cool find for $1. And I got home, I started bagging and boarding. I'm like, 20-cent Ghost Rider. Why? And I started asking why, and I was like, I gotta look this up. I know it's something. I know it's not the first appearance. It was the second appearance. So awesome. So we're gonna get into what in the world this is here. But I want to say hi to the chat once again. We got Chris Barrett saying, I love Craven's Last Hunt until they ruined it by bringing him back. But yeah, that original story, man, that's still one of the all-time best Spider-Man stories. You can't beat that. Mastodon says, Ron Lim is a master, underrated in my humble opinion. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, when you think of like the all-time greats, especially that era of Marvel, we all think George Perez, John Romita Jr., so on and so forth. But Ron Lim should definitely be in that contention as well. We got the Great Legends show. What's going on? He says, sorry, I'm late working tonight. Has he showed the TMNT? Hey, man, we can't show the TMNT enough here. We still got that third print rolling. Like I said, the USPS tried their darndest to ruin this copy of this comic, but it is still good. I'm very happy with it. It's going to stay in the collection, obviously. I knew Flicks and Comics JoJo would love those horror comics as well. And then he says, just stopping by, congrats. CB will chat later. Legend, I know you're going to like this last one, though. This is the last haul. So I bought a set of comics. It was $30. So I'm going to show the comics. You're probably asking yourself, why are you spending $30 on this? So these are dollar books right here. So we'll show them. We got Man of Steel, #2. Phenomenal books, by the way. I love these books. I was telling the shopkeeper, I pretty much collected these books. Like, pretty much I went Doomsday, Death, Superman, Funeral for a Friend, Reign of Superman. And then I went back and bought these because I think Walmart was still selling them at the time in a pack together. So, and then there's issue 6. So you're probably like, well, okay, why are you spending $30 on comics you already own? And this is the reason why. So I got the issue 1 was signed by John Byrne. So, and it did come with a picture of John Byrne at some con in the 80s. Couldn't tell you when this picture was taken, but at least to me, it looks like it had to be obviously, the late 80s. So there's the picture of John Byrne right there. So I guess this guy in Nike shoes, and I can't tell if there's like gray sweatpants and a ponytail. I'm assuming this whole collection's been his. So hopefully, Godspeed, friend, for getting this stuff signed and taken care of. But I'm probably never going to have the opportunity to meet John Byrne, especially in the post-COVID world we live in. I can't remember. I mean, he's never even came to the Midwest since I've collected comics, basically. So I can't picture a time I would ever have an opportunity to get an affordable autograph of John Byrne. And not to mention, like, it was $30 for his whole lot. I'm guessing he would probably either charge more than $30 or I'd have to buy some crazy Star Trek book he just wrote that I don't want and then have to buy the signature on top of that from the stories I've heard from other people on how you get Byrne signatures. But nonetheless, like, he's never came to Chicago. He's never really came to Indianapolis. I don't think he's ever been to Kentucky or Ohio. That doesn't leave too many options for me to go out and get a John Byrne signature. So if I want a John Byrne signature in the collection, this is probably my only shot. So we actually posted this on Monday. I'm like, crap, I'm stuck at work. I would love to go buy that, but it's going to be gone by the time I get there. So I just happened to go on the off chance today to see if by chance it's still here. Before I even looked at any of the dollar stuff, this was still sitting on the shelf. And I was like, yep, that's mine. So, and in terms of, like, and my shopkeeper made a good point. Like, if you're going to have something signed by John Byrne, like, this is probably one of the top books you would want signed by John Byrne. And I agree. Like, especially for me, the sentimental value, some of the sentimental stuff would be the Fantastic Four. Obviously, you saw the one earlier. That would be a great one to have a John Byrne signature on. There's plenty others I'm sure people are going to say out there. But for me, it's got to be Man of Steel because this is pretty much the birth of what would become my Superman, the Dan Jurgens Superman. That got killed off, brought in the rain, and I enjoyed his Superman after that for years. So this is a really cool, in my opinion, Grail signature book for me. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if there's too many people that agree or disagree on that one. Like I said, you can still go find John Byrne signatures. I don't even know if I paid a good price for this, but like I said, this is probably going to be my only shot of getting this book signed by John Byrne. This is obviously in pretty much very fine condition. It needs a pressing to make it near mint, in my opinion, but very happy with the signature. You guys know me. I collect signatures. I don't have a John Byrne. It's pretty awesome. I got a Dave Cockrum in the mail yesterday. Now I have a John Byrne today. So, yeah, very happy with the comics I've been getting lately, to say the least. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the haul for today. Like I said, check out Skeff's Comic Knowledge. The link is in the description below. We'll be having an auction 1 week from Friday, probably be in the evening time around 8:30 or so. They were gracious enough, they being Skeff and Comic Man Andy, they're going to bring me in the fold for that auction. I'm really excited to be a part of that. That Skeff's channel is really taken off, so big congrats to his success. But yeah, definitely if you guys have been looking for more of my stuff that's for sale, check out Skeff's Comic Knowledge, June 4th, Friday at 8:30. And they have some phenomenal books as well. Comic Man Andy, Skeff, and there should be another seller involved. I think he has usually a 4-person panel. I'm not sure who the 4th person is going to be at this point in time, but they give some steals and deals on that auction. So definitely stay tuned for that. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit this all in my collection, so you may be seeing a couple of these resurface. I'll try not to give any detached centerfolds for more than $1. So yeah, big thanks to everyone for joining me today here on the Tuesday night live stream. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Big thanks for hopping in tonight's chat. And once again, dude.